Welcome to The Point of View. This is your favorite current affairs show here on Channel 1 Television. On The Point of View, we pick the right topics, get the right guests, and ask them relevant questions on issues that matter to you. We're live tonight with a very important guest. He chaired a committee that investigated the unfortunate death of a 29-year-old engineer who was refused treatment by 3 major referral hospitals here in Accra. The committee finished its work and presented to the public their findings. Tonight, we go behind the scenes to hear the thinking behind the work of the committee and what informed their very strong conclusions. Prof. Agyemang Badu Akosa is my guest. When we come back, we'll be talking to him live. Stay with us.
Turn up your sound experience with the We Hear speakers by Lovi. From the sleek We Hear 1 to the powerful We Hear 2. And now the premium We Hear Pro. Fully endorsed by Kylian Mbappe. This is not just a speaker, it's a flexible, high-performance outdoor Bluetooth speaker built to bring your music to life anywhere. With up to 100 watts of music power, you get bold, immersive sound wherever you go. All available in stylish standout colors. Now the good news. From April 20th to May 20th, grab yours at a special discounted price. The We Hear 1 now at 400 Ghana cedis, the We Hear 2 at 900 Ghana cedis, and the premium We Hear Pro now at 3,800 Ghana cedis. Don't miss out. Call 020-195-7739 or pick up at the Atlantic Towers. You can also grab yours at Orange FM Kumasi, Plus FM, or 3 Music TV in Accra. Number 12 of Funya Street at Belengpe. Don't miss out on this special discounted offer. It's the We Hear promo powered by Lovi. We Hear, feel the power, hear the difference.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, who be here, Semetra Sapapadia to Amame Manfo. Kel Charcoal's natural ingredients, and a bomb is so buying, a man is swing, Nesansu Mama Hotoso, a will beg you.
Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Choose Kel Charcoal Toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Hello CEOs, Ghana's foremost business platform marks 10 years of leadership impact. Join the 10th Ghana CEO Summit and Expo on Thursday, 28th May 2026 from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Kempinski Hotel Accra. The summit is themed Accelerating Ghana's Economic Transformation, Driving Bold Reforms Through Leadership, Technology and Industrialization. Tagline, From Vision to Action. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana, will attend as special guest of honor and officially launch the CEO Government Compact 2026. Highlights include presidential CEO dialogue, masterclasses, panels, brand expo, CEO profiles, networking. Registered now at GhanaCEOSummit.com. Call 054-639-1970 or email info@GhanaCEOSummit.com. Powered by CEO Network Ghana in partnership with Deloitte, PwC, EY, GIPC, University of Ghana, Media General, and the Multimedia Group. The 10th Ghana CEO Summit and Expo, a decade of leadership impact. T&C supply.
So tonight we go behind the scenes to pick the mind of the man who chaired the investigative committee into the death of Charles Emisa. Charles Emisa died in February. This incident triggered outrage, and I'm sure those of you who follow the City Breakfast would have seen my submission on this. Professor Agyemang Badu Akosa has done many things in his life. He's, of course, a professor of pathology. Let me try and list the things you've done. Former DG Ghana Health Service, correct? Chairman of Medical and Dental Council, You've also chaired some global bodies or some international health bodies.
Yes.
But your latest work was to chair this, was that an investigative committee?
An investigative committee.
Set up by the minister into the death of Charles Emisa.
Yes.
Only that?
Yes.
But you are the chair of the Medical and Dental Council?
Yes, I am.
Right, wonderful. What was your understanding of your mandate for this committee?
Well, basically was to look at an independent and comprehensive investigation into the death of Charles Emisa and the circumstances surrounding the denial of health, of medical service to Charles Emisa.
So what method did you use?
Oh, we virtually met the management of the 3 hospitals, the team on duty, the National Ambulance Service, those who were on duty, their management. We met all professional bodies, to the extent that we even met SNET, National Health Insurance, HEFRA, virtually everybody that we felt was even remotely connected to this. We made sure and then we put out a public statement, and 17 members of the general public presented views on what they thought about what was happening.
Did any eyewitness show up in terms of when the incident occurred, when he was knocked down by the vehicle?
When we went to the site, yes, we met people who gave us an eyewitness impression of what happened. And for me, I think it was very important. The gentleman was on his motorbike. Apparently, there was a big truck on his left and a saloon car on the right. It appears as if he was riding in the middle and got shoved to the right. So his right shoulder hit the saloon car and then he fell. The truck, of course, left because I don't think he knew what had happened. The saloon car, we're told, stopped at the end of the bridge for about a few minutes.
So this is the road, the overhead?
Yes, this is just where. And Bernard, you see that black truck?
Please show me. Show me. What are you saying?
This.
Okay.
This is blood.
Oh, this is his blood?
This is his blood.
Oh, so this is where he got...
He hit right there. This is where...
So is this moving towards Ring...
This is coming down to NS Chemist.
Okay.
To Ring Road East.
Okay.
All right.
So because he was from Promasido, so probably from the Kaneshi side.
Absolutely. So
going
coming down. Yes. And this is where...
So this is where he was hit?
Yes.
And this is where his blood...
Well, whether he was hit or he hit, that was the issue.
Because he was in between two vehicles.
He was in between. So it appeared as if he sustained an open fracture, comminuted fracture of the right shoulder bone.
So you said the saloon car initially stopped?
It stopped. We're told it stopped at the bottom of the overhead for a few minutes and then drove off.
And nobody saw the number?
Nobody saw the number. And you see, it's overhead, but there are no lights and there are no cameras. You know, we met with the Director General of MTTD at that time. And I asked him, why there are no cameras here? This is an overhead. Many things can happen. And the gentlemen who were there who were selling alcohol and shoemaking and all that, they said, they witnessed many things. But what was sad was that the first people who got there took the gentleman's phone and his ID.
Oh.
So a gentleman who had left Promasidor as Charles Emisa became an unknown person because somebody took his phone and took his ID.
A man who was in distress.
Absolutely. And this is the Ghanaian, the person who got there first. That was what he did. Probably he even took money out of his pocket. We don't know.
But from the record, the ambulance service got there.
They got there in 5 minutes because somebody who saw it. The ambulance service is just behind. So they got there very quickly, and they were there in about 5 minutes. So 5 minutes they got there. They tried to pack the wound on the right axilla, pack the wound, and then they put him in the ambulance. And they got to police hospital in 11 minutes.
Because it's essentially just down the road.
Down the road. So even if they did not park very well, in 11 minutes they were at police hospital.
Let's deal with the ambulance for a bit.
Yes.
You did say that the ambulance service could have done better.
Of course.
Before getting to the hospital, what could they have done?
Or they could have packed the wound a lot better, and they could have compressed. All they needed to do was tie this hand closely to the chest.
To stop the bleeding.
To stop the bleeding, because that is the first thing you need to do when somebody is hemorrhaging, all right? They didn't do that very well. And unfortunately, their training is very poor, particularly the EMTs. They don't even know how to set up an IV line.
Wow.
All right, so if they had done that, considering the amount of blood he had lost, if they had set an IV line there, but you see, even the ambulance doesn't have that facility.
So this ambulance didn't have...
It doesn't have fluids, it doesn't have a facility to even
It's basically
IV cannulas.
A vehicle.
Well, it's got a ventilator and it's got a monitoring, so you can take blood pressure, you can take the oxygen concentration.
So they could have then given that information to the first facility.
They did that. They did that. So when they got to police hospital, they indicated, but you see, the monitoring is supposed to be continuous. But unfortunately, they couldn't do that because even the tube on the blood pressure, the cuff, the tube on the cuff was torn.
That's a good one, which means that even the ambulance service had recommendations about their training and also their...
And then the ambulance, and even the number of ambulance, because we felt that it's a whole country. You know, the full report has a lot more recommendations, but the report was to the minister, and therefore it wasn't something that we could immediately make public.
Which is why you chose to just give highlights.
Absolutely.
Because some people take issue with the fact that they haven't seen the full report, and therefore what you presented could have been your interpretation of the overall report.
That would not be fair, because what we did was to respond to the two major objectives that we were set. Comprehensive, independent assessment of the cause of death and the reasons for the denial.
So when you interviewed the ambulance, staff, the particular people who...
The four of them who were there, who were in the ambulance.
And your point was that if they had been better trained and better equipped, they could have done more.
They could have done more. But even there, the fact that they could get to the police hospital in 11 minutes meant that it was possible to save the life.
And it is clear he was alive throughout that.
He was alive. And for me, this is a very good snapshot. So at time 002232, they were on the scene. Now, the oxygen concentration was 99%.
Okay.
The blood pressure that...
What does that mean?
What it means is that the oxygen is fully saturated, the blood is fully saturated with oxygen. The blood pressure they took of 120/80, that was what they gave us. And I wasn't out there to go and query it.
Is that high or low?
That is normal. But with the blood loss, it would have changed. Now, 11 minutes, they arrived at police hospital.
Which is fairly okay.
The golden hour is the golden hour principle. So long as you get there within an hour, intervention can probably save the life. But at 11 minutes, one can easily say that that life could have been saved.
And is police hospital a referral hospital?
It has an emergency.
So it's not like a polyclinic. It's a proper hospital.
It is a hospital.
It's a proper hospital. So it has an emergency.
It has an emergency. It has got an emergency physician. It's got medical officers there. And what needed to be done, any medical officer could have done that. And I dare say that even a properly trained triage nurse could have even intervened and saved the life.
So from your interaction with the ambulance crew and the police hospital staff, what happened when they got to the police hospital? That
was the saddest part of it. colleague, young doctor, appeared and said they didn't have a bed, so they should move to Ridge Hospital. We asked whether she examined. She initially said yes. She entered the ambulance, she called out the patient, and the patient gave his name. Meanwhile, right from the accident scene, the patient had been unresponsive. All right, took out her stethoscope and checked the patient's chest and breathing.
Wow.
And on further questioning, she now started withdrawing. And the legal person on the committee asked her that, look, we asked you to just tell us what happened.
So could it be that she was confused about which patient you were referring to?
No.
She couldn't have been.
And now she stood about a meter from the ambulance and felt that patient was stable.
How?
Meanwhile, the entire ambulance stretcher was full of blood. The patient's shirt was soaked. So at least you would have known that patient was still bleeding, and the classical signs are X, A, B, C, D, E. X is bleeding, external bleeding. So it's the first thing you need to fix. A is the airway, whether the person can breathe in. Then B is checking the breathing. C is the circulation. D is whether there's any disability. And E is what's happening in the environment. So at least even concentrating and making sure that the bleeding stopped and setting up a line to replace lost fluid would have saved this gentleman's life.
What about the nurses and the people who are supposed to do the so-called triage?
In police hospital, it was only the doctor who came, because when the ambulance team gets there, they approach the emergency and met this doctor. So she came out and met them. And she did not even call any superior, but just directed that they go to Ridge Hospital.
This was a finding of the committee?
Yes.
And when you put it to the doctor on duty, she could not deny?
Of course she couldn't deny. Because already she had virtually come to tell us something that was totally different from what actually happened. But later on, she now decided to tell us the truth. She didn't get into the ambulance. She did not really call out the patient, did not give his name, and she did not auscultate the chest. And all she felt was that patient was stable, so move the patient on.
Because there's no bed.
Well, you know, again.
Or she didn't, because there's the whole thing was no. So at what point was the decision that sent her elsewhere?
Well, you see, if you say you have no bed,
yeah.
I say this, that if you were in the mall and somebody collapsed and you're a doctor, you're not going to look for a bed before you do basic life support. You're not. And even if you get to a trauma site, wherever you are, the first thing you've got to do, you could have stopped the bleeding.
So this no bed thing is almost like code for, I don't want to be bothered.
You could say that. But you see, there are issues with bed management, and I think we can look at it.
Okay.
And bed management, for me, is more of an efficiency system than anything else. Because if you are a hospital and you are efficient, even patients, you know, again, in this country, we don't do real-time analysis of patient stay, how long patients stay. Because a patient could be ready to go today, but you're waiting for a blood test. And the patient can go home and the blood test can be picked the following day. You understand? If you want to manage the beds properly, you would push this patient to go home. All right? And again, one of the things that we recommended, that it's about time that home care became very important. It becomes a necessary component. So if you see a patient, the patient is 95% okay, the patient's further stay does not depend on what you're going to do. You're not doing any more heroics.
So this is police hospital?
This is police hospital, yes.
Who are the members of your committee?
Well, the man in the middle is Dr. Kwaku Awuno Williams.
Kwaku Awuno Williams.
He's the technical advisor to the minister. Dr. Henry Bulle.
On the right, in the blue.
In the blue.
This picture doesn't show everything.
It doesn't show.
I think that's Ekremet.
Ekremet, yes, Kwame Ekremet.
Brown and white.
UGMC.
Yes, and then these are the police at the site.
Yes, and because we interviewed the Director General of the MTTD.
I see. Because a lot of people are asking why the report doesn't discuss the hit and run aspect.
Well, but you see...
because that's not medical.
What are you going to discuss? I mean, for us, even the take of the people who were there, you know, you can take it with a pinch of salt. But at least their description made sense because he did not fall. He did not hit the rail. He must have hit that saloon car and dropped.
So the big truck
pushed him off, probably pushed,
and he hit the other vehicle. So, of course, what the facts are that the ambulance got there at a specific time.
It got there in 5 minutes.
And he was still alive.
He was still alive.
Wonderful. So, from police hospital, what happened to him? He went to
Ridge Hospital.
Ridge Hospital. So, who did you speak to at Ridge? And
we met the team on duty at Ridge Hospital.
So this is 26 minutes.
26 minutes. After 70 minutes, they left police hospital and got to
Ridge Hospital.
26 minutes, so 22:58. Again, well within the golden hour. And there again, if the patient had been triaged, they would have seen that the patient was bleeding. So this is straight red. And that means that there must be immediate intervention. And this has nothing to do with the bed. It has nothing to do with the bed because anybody who is red requires immediate attention. And the immediate attention really, seriously, can be on the floor. We're not saying that that should be the norm, but you must save the life. Because you see, as a doctor, when you're being inducted and you take your oath, your first thing is to say that the life, the health, and well-being of my patients is my primary concern. That is the first oath that you swear. So what happened? Why couldn't somebody triage, see that this person was red, and immediately intervene? Police hospital, if they had set up a drip, they could have even taken blood for grouping and cross-matching, all right, and probably giving the person blood. They could have done the same in Ridge, and the patient.
So at Ridge, did you speak to the nurses, doctors? Who did you speak to at Ridge, and how different was their story from the police hospital story?
Well, it's the same. You know, it was a doctor. We met at
the Ridge Hospital.
There was a doctor there, definitely. Yeah. And again, just asked them to move to Kolebu Teaching Hospital.
So they did not come into the ambulance?
They did not triage the patient. And that is the most important thing. Triaging is a score. You assess how bad the patient is.
And you make a decision as to what to do.
Yes. And if it is red, it is you must intervene immediately. And
so triaging can conclude that this is not as serious and therefore...
If it's yellow, if it is green, patient can go home and come back the following day.
Wow.
Yes, because the patient is stable and there's not much.
So the triage is imperative. Triaging is imperative.
Absolutely.
So you can't make a decision if you don't do the triaging?
No, and in any case, even the A&E policy of the Ministry of Health says that every emergency must be triaged. You cannot even send the patient away without triaging.
So why did they all not do it?
I don't know. You see, again, that is why we say that if you blame bed, it becomes a norm. So once there's no bed, you are not prepared to intervene and do anything that will save a life. You know, and let me say this to the general public. This man, like I said, left his workplace with a name tag, with his phone. He lost his phone, he lost his identity, he became unknown. It can happen to any of us. So you'll be there, you'll be unknown, and you get there, and this is what happens to you. And I keep telling people that, yes, it could have been Professor Akosa. So at the end of the day, Professor Akosa gets to police hospital. Of course, not everybody knows you, can identify you. And even if they didn't come to see you and triage you, they wouldn't know who you are. All right? So no intervention. And please, You are a doctor. That is your primary responsibility.
And did you confirm that at every material time that this patient got to these hospitals, there was a doctor on duty?
They were, yes. They were doctors.
And there's always a doctor on emergency duty?
Duty, yes.
I see. So let's continue the story. Kolebu Hospital, so they had to leave?
Yes. So they got to Kolebu.
But since clinical indicators show shocked kidneys?
Because, of course, you've been losing blood. So you're moving. Because at this level, the oxygen saturation has gone down. And at that time, they couldn't even take the blood pressure.
Oh, no.
All right? Now, they get to Kolebu in 48 minutes. 2 nurses, again, did not triage. The doctor came, the doctor called the emergency specialist who was in, I suppose, the specialist restroom, and they just went back and forth. The nurses did not triage. The doctor did not insist, or the doctor himself did not also come and triage, because if you're a doctor, you can triage. And the emergency specialist did not come down over the period from up to the time the patient died. This patient was in Kolebu for 70 minutes.
70?
70 minutes. Because when they asked that they go to UGMC, the ambulance people said they knew the person would not survive the journey. So they were not going to go. And yet, that did not even, should I say, pressure the nurse and the doctors to intervene and see what really was going on.
This is really troubling. We're discussing live the work of the investigative committee set up by the Minister for Health into the death of Charles Emisa. Professor Agyemang Badu Akosa chaired that committee and is here live walking us through the way they worked. We'll come back and try and discuss some systemic issues. We've seen 3 facilities behave practically in the same way. So clearly there's a behavioral pattern. What is leading to this? And some people believe the committee went beyond its mandate in pronouncing people guilty when they were just supposed to find facts. We'll deal with that too. Stay with us.
Do you want a healthy smile?
Good morning, Raquel. Fresh brewed coffee for you.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Maya.
Oh, you're welcome.
Coffee, tea, red wine, those things cause so much stain on our teeth. But I like to tell my patients that cosmetic whitening is a great, safe, effective way to brighten your teeth, like 4 to 6 shades lighter. So it's important to come in to get an assessment on your teeth to make sure you're a good candidate for whitening, because we want to make sure you have a good foundation.
Yes, I definitely agree. Like you said, and it could be done right here at Bethel Dental.
Also like to make sure patients realize you need to get your whitening done by a licensed dentist or a dental hygienist. So that way you can make sure you're getting the correct product, it's safe, you don't get any burning on your gums, you don't get any sensitivity with your teeth. So those things are super important when you're looking for a place to whiten.
Yes, so why wait? Schedule your appointment today.
Healthy smile. Turn up your sound experience with the We Hear speakers by Lovi. From the sleek We Hear 1 to the powerful We Hear 2. And now the premium We Hear Pro. Fully endorsed by Kylian Mbappe. This is not just a speaker, it's a flexible, high-performance outdoor Bluetooth speaker built to bring your music to life anywhere. With up to 100 watts of music power, you get bold, immersive sound wherever you go. All available in stylish standout colors. Now the good news. From April 20th to May 20th, grab yours at a special discounted price. The We Hear 1 now at 400 Ghana cedis. The We Hear 2 at 900 Ghana cedis. And the premium We Hear Pro now at 3,800 Ghana cedis. Don't miss out. Call 020-195-7739 or pick up at the Atlantic Towers. You can also grab yours at Orange FM Kumasi, Plus FM or 3 Music TV in Accra. Number 12 Afunya Street at Belengpe. Don't miss out on this special discounted offer. It's the We Hear promo powered by Lovi. We Hear, feel the power, hear the difference.
The point of view tonight is revisiting a very painful episode. And this is not to traumatize anybody, but we have to get into the issues and implement change if we want this country to move forward, which is why we've brought Professor Agyemang Badu Akosa. The committee started work on, was it 23rd
of February?
February, and submitted a report on 6th
of May.
6th of May. The full report has been given to the minister, highlights were presented, and tonight he's going through this with us. So, 3 hospitals behave essentially in the same way. That suggests that this is a culture.
To a large extent, yes.
So that so most of the arguments I've heard have been that, look, the hospitals are overstaffed, the doctors are overworked,
yep.
And that when somebody is being brought to a hospital, the people should call first so that they will prepare for you. So just appearing with a patient is not the best. That's what I've heard. I mean, do they have a case when they say, at least give us a call, tell us you're bringing a patient?
I don't think so, because if a private vehicle had picked Charles Amesa and not the ambulance, they would not have had any number to call. They would have gone straight to the closest hospital. But the facts of the matter is that any hospital with trained health professionals, you are to do the basic, this is knowledge and skill that you have, and you are just supposed to do it. So once the patient is brought, you assess, and if the patient needs help, if they had packed, set up a drip, and even said, look, we don't have an oxygen port, we don't have a bed, so move on, at least that would have been a stabilizing intervention. But they did not do that at all. So it's not a question of the bed. Stop the bleeding, set up a line, at least the blood volume is being improved and the patient's chances of survival is greater. And that patient could have then been sent to Ridge Hospital, at least improving as they went along. But on this occasion, the patient was deteriorating as they went from hospital to hospital.
Say you did a great job, but you shouldn't have named the medical professionals involved, because yours was to find facts, and that in referring them to the disciplinary committees or the medical and dental councils, you are now basically presenting your facts to those bodies to adjudicate. But you've already pronounced them guilty before sending them there. That's basically the confusion.
I don't think that anybody who will say that knows the real facts. You're a doctor. You are registered with the Medical and Dental Council. You have achieved a certain minimum level of competency. So in terms of whatever it was that could have been done, we know you know, and therefore why did you not do it? In any case, this is a public interest and public accountability issue. And as far as that is concerned, confidentiality even gets waived off. What is the confidentiality here? You understand? I mean, ideally, all these doctors are supposed to even have name tags. So if you are properly apparelled with your name tag, is that not public?
Which means that even the ambulance would have known that we met Dr. Bernard, and Dr. Bernard said this.
Yes.
So most of them probably were not.
No, but you see, again, one of the things that we said was that even the ambulance handing over patients, there's no mechanism.
No protocol.
No protocol. And we said there must be a form. So if you get there, you introduce yourself, and then the health professional will introduce him or herself. But nothing like that gets happened. It's like, I brought the patient, take patient over. And you don't even see the patient. And for us, that was the cardinal thing. You did not even go see and do the triage.
Let me take you back to Professor Ernest York. He was sitting in this chair 2.5 weeks ago, and I asked him about this work. He's the president of the GMA. Let's hear what he said, and I'll take your reaction.
They were not sitting there as judges, but they were a fact-finding team or committee. So to go ahead and make pronouncement definitive, yes, the pathology report might suggest so, but there's a value chain from what happened, how the patient was carried, what happened in transition, all the 3 hospitals, what might have gone amiss or were done wrong or right, and then finally to the point of death. So, yes, postmortem, sets out exactly what might have happened, but the culpability in arriving at that diagnosis has to be properly looked into. That committee, for me, might suggest, but then when you now subject it to a proper judicial or quasi-judicial or disciplinary inquiry, the proof is stricter.
Fair enough. But you notice, as you rightly said, they've been referred to, quote unquote, the appropriate hospital or institutional bodies who may then institute a quasi-judicial process, so the Medical and Dental Council. So in a sense, he's put the evidence out there before the quasi-judicial process begins.
Absolutely, and I think you just nailed it. And secondly, it is also prejudging and might influence the committee's outcome because he's a person of high social standing and he's a pathologist, So
but it's not about he; it's a committee.
There's a committee. I'm just saying,
you want to separate? Do you feel like what he put out may not be the full report in the sense that?
No, I don't think it was a full report.
No, what I'm saying is that the way the report may be 50 pages, 100 pages. He put out some slides. So, is it your view that maybe that was his interpretation of the full report? Because the committee had about 7 members, including different people.
Yes. So the thing that usually I've been part of these processes in the past, and what happens usually is that you don't even mention names. You say certain individuals have been found potentially culpable, and therefore then referred for further investigation by the relevant. So what you risk doing, if the approach that we did was that you tag the people. So next time, even when one, they may be found not guilty, and even if they do and they've served their sanctions in the camp, patients may be reluctant to go seeing them. Maybe they would have cured or purged themselves of the wrongdoing. And so usually it is not done when names are, out of the 15 recommendations, about 8 or 9 were about the people.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there are wider systemic issues that ought to also have captured our attention. But
so this was actually a week ago. So that was Monday, Professor Ernest York, Ghana Medical Association. What say ye?
I wished that the association, of which I've been a president before,
I forgot to add that,
could have called these named doctors and even found out what actually happened. I think they would have changed their tune. Let's be honest. If we had not named, we would have been accused of a cover-up. These are the professionals. They've covered for their own colleagues. But in any case, I still insist that proper patient care, you, the doctor, you introduce yourself to the patient. My name is Professor Akosa. I am so and so, and I'm coming to see you. That is the proper way of patient care. So you don't hold yourself continually in anonymity. And therefore, to say that because they've been named, even if they serve their time in camping, that is not true. And I just wished that Ghana Medical Association, yes, it's a union, and you are there to protect the welfare of your people. But for Christ's sake, if your people do things, particularly in the line of healthcare delivery, in their professional line, you should be able to call them to question, and not just hide under the cloak of anonymity they should not have been. For me, this is a public interest and public accountability issue, and it is important. It was an independent and comprehensive. So at the end of the day, why do you hold names? In any case, if they go, their hospitals have disciplinary procedures, so they will go through that. Medical and Dental Council has its own way of looking at this. It will be done. If they are not found guilty, they are not guilty.
When you said Charles Imisa did not die from the trauma from the car or whatever knocked him down, but from medical negligence, that's a very
medical neglect.
Yes, that's a different thing.
Yes.
He didn't die from trauma but medical neglect. That's a very big thing to say.
It is. It is. Because this gentleman bled all the way from 2232 right down to his death. And there was nowhere where there was an intervention to stop the bleeding.
So this is medical neglect.
Neglect. No, but we didn't use the word negligence. Negligence is
there are two different things.
It's a legal term.
So it's neglect.
But it's medical neglect.
Across the chain.
Across the chain.
Or along the chain.
Across the chain, you see. But let me say this, that yes, the EMTs, the ambulance medical technicians, the emergency medical technicians did not pack well. All right?
They didn't pack well.
They didn't
As in what they put in the ambulance?
No, in the wound.
Okay.
They did not pack the wound to stop the bleeding.
That's correct.
So when they got to police, patient was still bleeding. But if police had intervened and packed properly and set up an IV line, this patient would not have died. So for me, that is where the medical neglect starts. And in all our recommendations, we've asked that the EMTs should be properly trained. And trained in basic life support, trained in advanced cardiac life support, and advanced trauma life support. So all these things are in the full reports. But of course, the whole idea was independent and comprehensive investigation into the cause of death and circumstances leading to the alleged,
I need a breather. This is really heavy. We'll come back and see whether there are other systemic issues which need to be dealt with. This is the point of view. Stay with us.
Launching. BSc Development Economics at the Ghana Christian University College. Study a job-ready university program, BSc Development Economics at the Ghana Christian University College. Job is ready for graduates who possess degrees and certificates in BSc Development Economics, professional certificate in Theoeconomy, certificate in Theoeconomy with business. Enroll at the Department of Theology and Economics at the Ghana Christian University College, Amrahia, Adenta Dodua Road, Accra. Full bursary is available for BSc Development Economics graduates to study master's program at the State University in South Africa. Enroll now. Take advantage of this opportunity to join elite professionals in economics. Call 0557 351 090 or 0575 633 307 or 030 296 0542. WhatsApp us on 0557 351 090 or you can get in touch online on www.theoeconomy.edu.gh. Powered by the Center for Theology and Economics, CTEC.
Smile, Look lively, okay? Smile. Is the money too small? A bad stomach ruins your day. Don't let it. Take Gastron, your most effective antacid for the relief of symptoms of peptic ulcer, heartburn, gas pain, flatulence, and indigestion.
Hey guys, what are you waiting for? Let's go.
Mwah. Can you bring down the smiles more? Gastron, effective relief from stomach discomfort. Manufactured and distributed by NS Chemist Limited. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Well, with these results, you can do medicine, law, everything.
But uncle, are you sure?
I am the Ministry of Education in this house.
Ministry of what education? My daughter, do nursing. It's your best chance with this result.
No, go business. Oh, please, what do you know? Can you even read?
Go become YouTuber like me.
Use Admissions Checker. Admissions Checker? Yes, Admissions Checker. Ghana's first university admissions hub. Just sign up at admissionschecker.com. Enter your WASSCE or NOFEC results. Choose your dream universities and programs and instantly find out exactly where you have the best chances of admission.
Wow, what if I want scholarship abroad?
Simple. Tap scholarships and find opportunity too.
Can it also find husband abroad?
Admissions Checker. There is a university and a course for everyone.
We're still here, Professor Agyemang Badu Akosa, discussing the very, very sad case of Charles Emisa. Here are some of your comments. Hello, Bernard. What is the protocol when an ambulance reaches a facility? This is Nii from Adenta. Another one. Please ask Prof if our ambulance service personnel can't stabilize a patient, set up a line, and arrest hemorrhage. This person is wondering. This is Tech Charlie. It's a long one. Good evening, Bernard and Prof. My former boss. Sometimes I wonder if Ghana has an emergency health system at all, because the urgency of the word emergency is not being applied to emergency cases. How can a hospital turn away a patient or demand payment before an emergency case is attended to, even though the case is described as emergency? Do our medical practitioners understand emergency health care? Is this how it's done in other parts of the world? You wonder. Sylvester from Michelle Camp says, Bernard, ask Prof what is his opinion on health workers doing locum outside their normal work. Would it not make them tired before reporting to their public hospital? For me, any doctor working at public facility should not be allowed to have his own private facility, hospital, lab, pharmacy, or the like. This is a clear conflict of interest. It's the major reason our health facilities are suffering. Any comments on these points, Prof?
Well, I think let me talk about the emergency staff, the ambulance staff, the EMTs. Unfortunately, their training is poor. And it's almost as if you're a basic EMT, probably you've not learned much and you can't do much, because your inability, in this particular case, their inability to stop the bleeding. Because if they had really packed and compressed, the bleeding would have stopped, and that would have been helpful. But they can't even set up an IV line. And that, begs belief, because in proper ambulances, you have got IV cannulas, you've got all those things, you've got fluids. So if they have been trained, and we've suggested that they should be trained in all that, and trained in, basic life support, advanced cardiac life support, and all those things. So that, unfortunately, is the EMTs we have in this country, and we must begin to retrain them.
People have spoken about building a system where ambulances can communicate with hospitals. We can have an electronic system of knowing the number of beds and all of that. I mean, did you deal with any of those in your reports? Systemic issues, equipping issues, facility issues?
Bernard, absolutely. I mean, that is actually being set up.
Okay.
There is a command center in Ridge, where real time they would know throughout the country where an emergency has happened, an ambulance on the move, and they can track. And they are going to start piloting, I think, from 1st of June, where they're even barcoding all the emergency beds so that they would know real time where beds are available. So that is being set up, and it's happening now. It's at Ridge, and that is going to be the national command center. And one of the things that we discovered, we didn't know that there was really a critical care emergency center at the Air Force Base.
Yeah.
And apparently during the COVID, this was built by United Nations, and they were flying United Nations staff from everywhere in the world to Ghana.
When you use the Bema Camp bypass, you see the entrance.
It is there. And so again, that we've said should be brought into the national emergency loop. Again, one of the things that we realized is that, when an ambulance picks you, it should go to the closest hospital, whether it's private or public, because once they have staff there, they should be able to stabilize, because time is critical. And if you're going to move somebody from, let's say, even outside Accra, and all the way they are moving patients to Accra, it really begs belief. But at least one of the things that when we met the Society of Private Practitioners, they said, look, we can also assist. But as far as we're concerned, we need the reimbursement of whatever we spend as quickly as possible. And therefore, that was why we recommended the establishment of a national emergency fund. We met National Insurance, we met National Insurance Commission, we met National Pensions Regulatory Agency.
Wow.
You know, because we felt that where could we at least put out those funds to be able to do that, so that if the private practitioners also get involved, they will be reimbursed as quickly as possible. They cannot wait for 6 months to be reimbursed.
Here's a question from another person. Is it possible there wasn't enough bandages, etc., for a packed padding? Ask Doc. Maybe they feel like the ambulance team did not have the material or the accoutrement.
Or the point is that they probably did not have enough. Whatever they had, they used. But it was not enough, because this Charles Emisa had severed his brachial artery and axillary artery. These are very deep and an open fracture, comminuted, so multiple splinters of the upper end of the humerus. So it was something that needed probably more than what it did.
So maybe we need to also reevaluate what an ambulance contains and make sure that at all material time they have those things.
Bernard, we have all those recommendations, because again, when we went to the what is now the Armed Forces Critical Center, they had 2 ambulances and they are stocked with everything. So if you compare the ambulances that we have in this country to those ambulances that were UN procured, you know, honestly, I mean, it makes us like an ONVAN.
So our ambulances need to be upgraded in terms of what they contain.
There they have AED, you know, external defibrillators. They've got everything. They've got everything. So they can do ECG as they move. And again, they can speak to the forwarding hospital. So these are all things that are in the full report.
Is there a recommendation about the attitude of doctors or health professionals? Because whilst you've named people for disciplinary action, I believe this is not just these 5 or 6 or 8 people, that many other health professionals, okay, I can't say many, but a fair few health professionals would have behaved the same way. So it's not just these guys. It's become the way they operate.
Bernard, it was interesting when we put out for public views that a senior doctor wrote in to say that part of the problem is the consultants in this country. By 12/2, they are not available. But you see, a patient could be ready for discharge, but because the consultant has not asked that the patient be discharged, the patient occupies a bed.
So the next day.
And this is real bed management. That is why I say that the no bed syndrome is about bed management. We have recommended that no patient should stay in the emergency room for more than 12 hours. So certainly by 10 hours, the system should be such that the patient should be on the move, because by 10 hours, the patient would have been stabilized. He should not be in the emergency room. And that is what blocks beds. You see? So again, if you have a bed management bureau that literally every hour is assessing bed availability within the hospital, there will be a system of shifting and making emergency beds available. So yes, if you look at the total number of beds in this country, we don't have quite as much as we should. But this is what we have. Let's use it properly and stop making excuses.
Doctors say they are overworked.
Oh, there's no doubt about
tired.
There's no doubt about that.
So it's unfair for us to hang them.
No. You see, the point is that if you don't have knowledge and skill, that is an issue. In this particular case, you did all you needed to do, you had it. And you had the capacity and the capability of doing it. But why didn't you do it?
Do you think the work of the committee will lead doctors to change, or they would rather take the hard line? Because a number of them feel they are being unfairly accused.
It will be unfortunate if they take the hard line. You have taken an oath that the patient's health and well-being will be your primary concern. And let's stick to that and make sure that the patient's health and well-being is indeed your primary concern. If that is, what we are trained to do, then let's do that. In any case, if the doctors and the nurses had done this work and Charles Emisa had survived and there was praise for them, I don't think anybody would have charged any committee for naming them for praise. You know, you can't eat your cake and have it. And that's why I say that I wish that the Medical Association, of which I am a part and a past president, could have called them and really found out precisely what happened. Come and tell us on that day what really happened.
Maybe we should have put a member of the GMA on the committee.
Well, again, you see, then you probably would have not named, and it would have been, you've been accused of cover-up. But in any case, there were 4 doctors on the committee, 2 nurses, 1 pharmacist who is now the head of legal in the ministry, and then an administrator. So we had.
So you covered
absolutely 2 critical nurses. We had a head of legal and 4 doctors. They're all members of the Medical Association. So what is it that they do not know, or what is it that we did that they didn't think was you know?
Wow. Thank you for your public service. Your work is in the public interest. I was remarking to somebody, the only thing you haven't done yet is you haven't become president and you haven't become Minister of Health, but you've done everything else. Congratulations.
Oh, well, I hope I've done well by whatever it is that I've been.
Posterity will be the best judge. Thank you, Professor Agyemang Badu Akosa, who now is the chair of the Medical and Dental Council. He chaired the Ministerial Investigative Committee into the death of Charles Emisa. We continue to wish the family the best and send our condolences to them and urge all and sundry to do better to build our beloved
incidentally,
country.
they sent us a letter thanking us.
After the work?
Yes.
Wow. Incredible stuff. Prof, thank you. Well, that's all we have time for tonight's edition of The Point of View. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Every day, across Ghana, stories unfold. Stories of hope, struggle, courage, and progress. At Channel 1 TV, we tell your story with truth and heart, giving voice to the people, holding power to account, and empowering change that moves our nation forward. Channel 1 TV, telling your story, empowering change.
Forget typical motorsport. It's about mud, fun, and absolute madness. We're at the Mud for Fun 4x4 Challenge here in Ruiru, Kenya. An amazing place for thrill seekers and families alike. But before we get absolutely filthy, let me go ahead and let you know what we have next. Palesa Tembe is going to walk you through a serious Cape Town apartment with quite a personality and a renovation you didn't see coming.
In Ghana, we meet a woman shaping a lasting legacy, and her Guinness World Record for the largest beaded bag is only the beginning. And is it really possible to eat like a queen in Lusaka for just $1?
I'm Wanjira Longhour, and you're watching AfriMax. As you know, here at AfriMax, we love to tell inspiring stories, especially as they pertain to modern Africa. So that's why the next person exemplifies this. Prepare to be inspired.
Ambrose Letoluwai is a man of many talents. He knows exactly what his goats need. And the Kenyan shepherd is also a talented photographer. He says he began taking pictures to help him better understand his environment.
So the one thing that really put me into all the photography is about bird watching. So I always wanted to take a photo of a bird so that I can able to identify them. The elephant as well as giraffe and the other wildlife, they are threatened. And the only thing that you can able to use is photography and just to tell how magnificent they are and how threatened they are. And if you want to share the story, you need to have a photo or a film.
Ambrose portrays animals such as the African leopard that are at risk from poaching. He even found 10 rare black leopards. For the Maasai photographer, humans pose a threat to the big cats by destroying their habitat and habits.
And you see them using lights at night to disturb these animals, to change their behavior. That is not ethical at all. And that's one of the things that really bother me a lot, because there is a lot of selfish interest that we put into these animals. Even though they're very beautiful, we disturb them in their natural environment.
Another threat are the locals who have often killed leopards because they go after their livestock, the livelihood of many people here. Ambrose is building understanding within the community. These women used to see leopards as enemies. Now they work to protect them, as leopards attract tourists, and that means jobs. They call themselves Chui Mamas, leopard mamas.
We have come to understand the conservation and the importance of it, because now the formation of Chui Mama has bear a lot of fruits.
Such as new sources of income. The Women's Collective makes jewellery and soap and have used the proceeds to build their own centre. The Wildlife Kids Resource Centre in the middle of the savannah was co-founded by Ambrose. Equipped with reading materials and binoculars, these kids are on safari. Today they're bird spotting, and the trip is proving inspirational.
Now I want to educate people of their importance and convince them to stop poaching.
The children are also aware of the financial benefits of conservation.
I would like to protect these animals because they help the country. Safari tourism brings us money. People come to see the animals, and that generates revenue. So it helps improve people's standard of living.
Improve people's living standards.
Ambrose says he's optimistic about the future because he sees that young people are becoming more aware of their culture and their environment.
There is a huge change. There is a huge change because a kid can able to learn, to say that I'm coming to this center to learn about wildlife, to watch about film, to take a photo about this particular bird, and they learn it. They even know now some names, species of some plants that you found in this particular area, and they know the use. So that is something that makes me happy.
The local elephant population remains a concern. In 2019, 400 of them were counted in the nearby Lois Aber Conservancy. Ambrose hopes that his work can help ensure them a safe future.
The engines are roaring, the mud is flying, the energy here is absolutely electric. Joining me now is the team leader of Mud for Fun, Kinuthia Washege. Tell us, there's so much chaos here, and yet people keep coming back. Why?
It's the community and what we do here, heavy on sustainability. So bringing all these drivers, communities, brands together, raising awareness on environmental sustainability. We're on a mission to do 10 million trees in the next 10 years.
So why is this the event that everyone keeps talking about?
I believe this mud makes them happy. It brings them together. I think it's the only motorsport that has a space for everyone. We don't have to have a modified car for you to enjoy.
What is something that a first-timer is always shocked about? What is it, that a newcomer wouldn't expect?
The fact that when you come, you're like, okay, I want to see the kind of monster trucks that, are used to the mud. Then you're here and you're like Subarus, Mercedes. Any other car, just mention it, is able to do this.
When you watch someone hit the mud, what is your first thought? What instinctually pops up in your mind?
I'm like, damn, I feel so good. There's just a feeling that you can't explain. You just have to be here and experience it for you to be able to give an idea of what it is. I'm sure you've seen the kind of fun guys are having.
Oh, I'm definitely seeing there's a lot of mud and a lot of fun.
Look at me.
In fact, yeah, exactly. And what is something that people should look forward to when they're coming here?
You just to be in good mood to begin with. Just be ready for fun. beaded with some amazing booths like what I have. I mean, just check out our bucket list. Good mood, good company, good vibes, and ready for the mud, and you're good to go.
Next up, Afrimax presenter Palesa Tembe is going to tour you through a Cape Town apartment. Think color, curves, and a whole new exciting take on African modern interior design.
Across Africa, incredible homes are raising the bar of modern design. This series gives you a front row seat to unapologetically stylish spaces, the kind you can't help but save, screenshot, and dream about. We're in Cape Town, and today Palesa Tembe is visiting an apartment that's packed with personality and playfulness. This spot is made for dinner parties, late nights, and Insta-worthy moments. But plot twist, this building is old. Built in the 1970s, it's had a glow-up thanks to designer David Augustin. Same structure, brand new attitude.
Hello, how are you?
Good to see you again.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see what you've got in store for us.
Yes, welcome. And we have a wonderful apartment. It used to be a large apartment that we have turned into actually a one-bedroom apartment. It's a very old concrete column and beam structure building. And we wanted to soften with finesse throughout the apartment, and as you arrive in the arrival hall, we've created this focal point which sort of is a starting spine that takes you through the rest of the building and softens around all the columns.
You know, David, something else that caught my attention is this beautiful kitchen. Not only did you make use of my favorite color being pink, but it's quite an unusual choice for a kitchen.
Not only your favorite color, but also my client's favorite color. And we really wanted to create a little jewelry box for her when you arrive into the apartment.
The kitchen totally gives off jewelry box vibes. Curves everywhere, pink done right, marble and stone breaking it up, with brass details that nail that old meets new feel. The kind of place dinner guests won't be able to stop talking about. This whole space feels like an art gallery.
Art is a very big part of our clients' collection here, and we had to create opportunity in the space for art walls. And as you can see through the apartment, in all the spaces, we've created very big pockets where we could have collection of art on the walls. So as you can see, we are now transitioning into a new space. Even though we've decided to have one big open space, we divided it into little pockets. And I think this is the magic where everything happens when you arrive in this space.
And then the magic reveals the ocean.
The amazing views of the ocean, and the fact that we've been able to convert the old balcony into now an indoor space, and yet again create some space where we could hang art and interesting pieces. We were also clever by creating this division between what you can't see now but is the main bedroom, and cleverly positioned in here is a laundry facility, a little hidden door where you go through as if it doesn't exist, into another piece of magic in the apartment.
And David is right. Behind this door, another little secret is waiting.
Oh, wow. David, I love this emerald green moment.
Yes, again, this is a new space, a surprise. Like most of the moments that you have through the apartment, there's these pockets of surprises, and we wanted to create this den or library space and study space.
It definitely does feel like a cocoon. When it does come to some of the design elements you've been able to bring into this library/TV room, what were those?
So we wanted this space to feel slightly darker, a little bit more moody, and that's why we've used the very dark greens on the walls. We wanted the ceiling to really be present in this room, and that's why we've used such a bold pink color. Again, a favorite color of yourself.
And David is right. Behind this door, another little secret is waiting.
Now, this is clearly the main bedroom, but also the only bedroom.
Correct, yes, and that was very much part of the brief. And for me, this space is will you come and calm down? Contrast to the rest of the apartment, this is a very quiet, very subtle, very gentle space. A space that has very few pieces of art, very few pieces of furniture, and it's really just a calming space. And for me, that's exactly what a bedroom should be.
Walk through the wardrobe and suddenly it's a whole new mood. Classic tiles, vintage flair, and a bathroom that basically says, bubble bath, phone on silent, see you later.
And for someone who's been inspired by what you've been able to create here, what advice do you have for them?
I think what's important is that you should embrace what you love. Surround yourself with pieces and things that really makes you happy.
And that's exactly what this home does. More than a place to live, it's made for hanging out and living life loud.
I know it just looks like one big spectacle here, but in order to have something like this, it needs a lot of very serious people, and that's why I have one of the key coordinators here, Milka Kabochi. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Wanjira. I love your energy.
Thank you so much.
This is the energy we need right here and that we have been having the whole time, so I love it.
Thank you so much, Milka. You know, what I wonder when you're putting something like this together is, how do you navigate the challenges? Because, you know, even just one little thing could, you know, going wrong could mean that there's a lot that unravels.
There's so many moving parts, but I will tell you that we take a lot of time with the team to just make sure that even the littlest of details is handled, and you know, the devil is in the details.
Yeah. And when you see everyone and everything come together at your event, how do you feel personally, you know?
I feel the team has done an amazing job. Together we have managed to pull off, you know, an amazing event. I would say that all the long nights and, you know, all the planning and all the, you know, networking and boardroom meetings and ground meetings, they have paid off. So the team, and then I think I'm proud of myself.
You're not as muddy as, say, Kinuthia is. Is that by design?
I will say Uncle Muddy, you know, he is probably more in the technical, and so he gets to interact with the mud more than I do. But if you look at my, you know, look at my boots, I would say that I was there at some point, but yeah.
Okay, a little bit here, even the watch.
A little bit here and a little bit there, but he takes the day.
I wanted to ask you also, Milka, what has been the highlight so far of the event?
I would say that the turnout is definitely amazing. For the 6th edition, I would say this has been quite a success, especially with the kiddie village. So, you know, everything put together. But for me, what caught my attention is the presence of so many kids.
What made you want to be a participant, a driver?
First is experience, second is to test my vehicle.
I'm here with 16-year-old Karuri. He's one of the drivers. And so I'm really curious to know how you learned how to drive like this.
I learned how to drive from the national park. When I was young, I used to go to the park with my dad and we used to play in the mud, and eventually we decided to try this competition for the first time in Tilisi.
Okay. That was big, but this is even bigger. Ghana's Juliana Garbin broke a Guinness World Record with the largest beaded bag in history. Now she's up for something even bigger.
This is the prototype for the largest bead sculpture. The record-holding bag measures 6.21 meters dimension. Winning the Guinness World Record was just the beginning. But what happens after the applause? What happens after everything? That is when the challenge begins. I want to establish a school. I want to pass on this knowledge and this skill to other people. But how do I begin? I don't know.
She built the world's biggest beaded bag, a Guinness World Record, thousands of beads. But one question remained. Now what?
It was to let everyone, the world, know how artistic we the beaders are. So something that people actually do not really see it as a big thing. Something as small as beading could also be on a global platform.
After the celebration, reality hits hard. A A record doesn't build systems and it doesn't change how people see African craft. So Juliana decided to make an even bigger move than a world record, to turn it into something really big.
So I prefer a school where we can preserve the art and also create opportunities for people to learn. If you encounter someone who has learned the art from me and any other person who has also learned from social media, the difference is very clear.
And one question also changed for Juliana. Not how big can a bag get, but can beadwork become a real career?
Every profession started from somewhere. So currently what I and other beaders are doing is giving it structure. And then with all of this coming together, I think we can build a profession, a creative profession.
Before her world record, Juliana was just another artisan. In Ghana, beadwork lives in markets and it's passed from hand to hand. For many, it's just a side hustle.
Beading is also gaining some form of value. People are appreciating it because they want something unique. Probably it will get to a time that every individual would have to wear beads whenever they are attending a particular occasion or an important occasion.
Juliana never saw beadwork as small. The world record didn't change her mindset. It proved that something seen as small can capture the world's attention.
Beadwork is my profession, so I believe it can become a profession for others as well. That is why I am advocating for a school where we will have structures in place. So when it is taught well with business knowledge, beadwork can become a profession for others and they can generate money from it.
Now, she wants respect for the people behind the bead. The spotlight is here and Juliana is trying to turn it into something real. Classrooms and training.
In my school, I am going to teach beading, branding, product finishing, even how to price. It's a whole learning experience that you are going to have as a student. Getting a suitable place in Accra here for the school is a challenge. Financing it, I want to so huge. So I think this is harder. Currently, per the knowledge that I have designed something, a curriculum that my students have access and use as we grow. I am going to liaise with other industry professionals to come up with a well-structured curriculum for the school.
Because building a school is different and not just creating. Juliana has to make tough decisions. How does she price creativity? Who will validate the craft and what future is she promising?
Sometimes I do have doubt. I wonder where I'm even going to get the financial support to pursue this dream. But then everyone started from somewhere. So I know that if I start, definitely I'm going to get to a point. And someday, somehow, I will also get to the end. A befa, meaning we will definitely get there or we will achieve it.
Every student who walks in is taking a risk, not just learning a skill, but believing this can be their future.
My beading training is going well. I'm even surprised within a short time I've been able to make beautiful items. And surprisingly, friends and loved ones are buying for me, and it's a source of income. And I'm hoping in future it will be a full-time job.
If she succeeds, Ghana won't just be known for one big bag. It could become the place the world looks at for a next generation of bead designers and record breakers.
Small beads, big creativity.
Forget fine dining. Lusaka's real food innovation is happening in its streets. From plant-based African polony to street bars, let's go ahead and see what you can get for just $1.
Survive Lusaka street food on a budget. If you want real street food, visit the streets of Lusaka. I have a 20 kwacha note in my hand. This is roughly $1. In some cities, this won't even get you a coffee. I love me a bag and buffet. Let's see how far this one bag can go. Money is tight, but Lusaka Street has the most incredible food. I'm guilty. I've gone over budgets. But this is so good. If you tried it, you would do the same. Lusaka hits you fast. Pasota's hunger. We start off light with vitumbua. These are fried dough balls. Whether you call them makonye, madanza, puff puff, these are loved by many and have many names. They are dropped into hot oil, fried until they are crisp. At only 3 kwacha, this is the ultimate budget-friendly starter.
At least
They are not called Africa's delicacy breakfast for nothing. These are amazing.
Next, we level up on the OG snack pack to tenem balala. Cassava is either boiled, slow roasted, or deep fried over coals until it's starchy and sweet, then served with a handful of rich, crunchy roasted groundnuts.
This is a low-key original fuel besan. A small bag sets you back at 10 kwacha. Total brings me to 13 kwacha. Now with the heavy hitter, roasted maize. It is fanned over charcoal until it becomes smoky and caramelized. A great comb size costs about 7 kwacha. This is Zambia's best street snack, maize.
All right, my budget is done, but I can't end this without the main character, Chikanda, known as African polony. This slab is made by boiling wild orchid tubers with ground peanuts and chili until it reaches a meat-like texture.
This is so good. To get a slice of the power slab, you need at least 5 kwacha, but it's so good that you might go overboard. Yeah, I'm guilty. I've gone over budget. But this is so good. If you tried it, you would do the same. Listen, it's sustainable, plant-based, wild, and of course, it doesn't need a lab coat. Let's study the home. Shtumbua, nuts, cassava, and a cob of maize, and a piece of chikanda, or for 1, or maybe 2. Not bad, right? I am officially over budget on flavor, but under budget on time. So, see you on the sidewalk.
It's been loud, it's been messy, it's been fun. That's what makes Mud for Fun so magical, so special. You hear how it's still going? And yeah, when it comes to clean clothes, a lot of times they're not gonna stand a chance. But talk to me, I'll give you some tips on how you can save yourself. All right, that's all for now. Till next time, bye.
I've not done any bad thing. No, I can't do that.
Your room is very.
Oh, mommy, daddy, she went to my room. She didn't keep long. She just went in and she's coming back and she has come back.
Good day, sir. Good day, madam.
Guess she went into your room to dep.
You are the best in my life. Oh, yes, you do. You are. I love you.
Come and see The Blacksons airs every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. and is sponsored by Out Insecticide, Nasco Electronics, Musician and Everpack on Channel 1 TV.
The vibe is too much.
Welcome to another episode of the Channel 1 Street News with me, Ejubi Wiafe Akente. And as you know, it's on this show, we bring you the big stories in the news and we get to have conversations with you on these matters. Coming up in today's show, we bring you conversations on the historic Legal Education Reform Act introducing national bar exams to replace the Makola admission system. And rent crackdown, authorities target exploitative student hostel operators. We head to the hostels and hear directly from the students. And later, we also bring you a conversation on growing tensions at Makola as traders protest plans by Accra Metropolitan Assembly to relocate them without providing an alternative trading space. Stay with us here on the Channel 1 Street News. We'll bring you the details and the conversations shortly. President Mahama has signed into law the Legal Education Reform Bill 2025, breaking the 66-year monopoly enjoyed by the Ghana School of Law. And now accredited universities will have the opportunity to offer the professional legal training course. And I have here with me some law students whom I will be engaging on this new development. First of all, I'd just like to pick your thoughts on what you know of the reforms that have just been assented by the president.
Okay, what I know about the reforms that has just been assented, I believe it was done 2 days ago. Yes, it's welcome. It's something we've been waiting for some time. We want to give the younger people an opportunity to be able to be lawyers as well. I personally wrote the exams about 3 times and I finally made it. It would have been easier if it was once as well. However, I'm waiting to see what it can do. We are hoping it will actually solve the problem that we had, and that's why it's here. So I'm open. We are waiting. It just started, so thumbs up. Let's see how it goes.
You also agree with her when it comes to the fact that this whole initiative of a reform is welcome, because other school of thoughts will also raise concerns about this floodgate that has been opened for, everyone to come in.
Okay, so I don't agree on the points that it's going to liberalize the system for people to come in so much, because first of all, this new system is going to introduce there's going to be a national bar exam after the 5 years of legal education and training. And the purpose of this national bar exam is to examine students to make sure they are competent enough to be called to the bar. And it's essentially the same as the existing system in a way, because after the 4 years, you'd take an entrance exam to the Ghana School of Law. And this has created a bottleneck, which this new act is meant to fix. I believe the new system is going to create a bottleneck in the same way the old system has created a bottleneck. Because if students are not able to progress after the 5 years, it's going to be the same thing recurring over and over again. Yeah, that's my thoughts.
Okay, so if I get you clearly, what you're trying to say is that in as much as we are no longer having the entrance examination, in as much as there will still be the national bar examination, there will still be that bottleneck you're talking about.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
We have the elimination of the entrance exam, and I think from time to time that was a concern that many people that went through that particular exam raised concerns about, because it's as though you cannot move from one level to pursue your professional training. Are you happy with it being eliminated?
I think that it doesn't exactly eliminate the problem, because in the long run, you're still taking another exam. You're still doing there's still an assessment that would determine whether overall you would become you'd progress to your dream career. So I don't think it exactly eliminates the problem. I just think it stretches that timeline. Yes.
Okay. You have made your points. Thank you for your submission. But let's also talk about the fact that now accredited universities would have the opportunity to offer the professional legal training, because earlier, if you finish University of Ghana, GIMPA, you still have to write the entrance exam into this institution. Now, students that finish GIMPA, University of Ghana, once they have the accreditation, they can continue with the school they started with. This is good news.
Oh yeah, of course, it's a very good news because, of course, one of the things I really believe in is that the proponents of this legal reform are people who have been in the legal education or the legal world in Ghana for a very long time. So, of course, at least we could give them the benefit of the doubt and trust the process that they are, proposing. The propositions that they have made, and of course, one of the center of the bill has been to break the monopoly of the School of Law and give the other schools, the other university opportunities to also offer the program. But of course, one of the things I believe in is that, as a disadvantage, is that it's going to increase the number of people who are going to be lawyers, and we could clearly even see from the old method that when we are being posted to many internship places, you could realize that some of the students do not even have a place to be, and even some are even posted to courts. So you could realize that there are lots of people in the future who are not going to have are not going to have places to work in the future as lawyers. So of course, just as everything has an advantage, there are also some disadvantages.
Okay. Your colleague is raising a disadvantage. He's seeing here that there will be a lot of an oversaturation of lawyers in the system. Do you agree that we'll have too many lawyers in the system? Are too many lawyers bad?
No, I believe that too many lawyers are not bad. And I think to say an oversaturation of the system, what do we define oversaturation as, right? Is it we open more access to lawyers for the citizens to also benefit from the services of lawyers? You get it, right? And so I'll just take this back. During 2021, 499 law students were denied. Exactly. The famous 499, yes. And it is out of these things or the advocacy of these 499 students that has birthed this bill. It's been a long time coming. And I do believe that, as I mentioned, that oversaturation doesn't spoil everything. As it is said, right? Too much meat doesn't spoil this. Exactly. And so if we open up the system, but we must bear in mind that whilst we are opening up the system, we do not compromise on the quality of training that would be given to the lawyers. So I believe if you do open up the system for everybody to benefit from this law, I think that it goes a long way, right? Sometimes have you sat back and asked yourself, what is the ratio of a citizen to a lawyer? It's very, very, very scanty, right? And so we must also take into cognizance all of these things.
Okay. Yeah. Now, your friend made a salient point, which brings me to the quality of education we're looking at. Because for the longest time, the Ghana School of Law has been the standard. Now we're giving accreditation to other institutions, and people have concerns. What is going to be the quality of education these people are going to give to those who will be getting their professional training from these institutions?
Okay, that's a good question, because when you look at the other schools, when we come